And joining me now here at the White House is Philip Crowther, international affiliate reporter for the Associated Press. Phil, great to see you here in person.
Great to see you in person. It's a real pleasure to be with you.
Absolutely. Same here. So last night, the Vice President's speech came amid all the crises that we have going on in the country right now. Did he address it, and what did he have to say?
Well, he did address all of them, not necessarily in the way that Democrats would have liked him to do so. The hurricane, yes, he mentioned it off the top. The coronavirus, yes, he did as well. Maybe it was a bit of a positive view of it. He again promised that there would be a vaccine at the end of the year, and of course praised the president's handling of the coronavirus outbreak. That's been one of the big themes during this Republican convention, of course. And then, of course, the thorny issue of the day, racial injustice, police brutality. Yes, the vice president did talk about it, but again, not necessarily the words that at least Democrats would have expected. His was a law and order message during a law and order night during the convention, and his message was a stark one. He basically said, you're not going to be safe in Joe Biden's America.
Phil, what was his overall message?
Well, there was all sorts there, really, from the vice president. First of all, a dark message of what the United States might look like under former Vice President Joe Biden. That, again, has been a theme during this convention, of course. He also tends to, and most speakers do during this convention, they tend to look back at a time before the coronavirus outbreak as to how good it was, essentially, how well the economy was doing. And I think what Republicans' message is, and the vice president's was as well yesterday, was if you want those times back, we are the only ones who can get it back for you. That's why this new slogan, if you will, that has come up, Make America Great Again, is the one that the vice president used again. He's basically saying, look, if you want that back, we're your choice. He had another job on his hands yesterday, which was to portray the president in as positive a light as possible. And we heard that from many speakers. They were trying to paint a more polished picture of the president behind the scenes, the man that we don't see on camera, even though, of course, we do see quite a lot of him on camera.
Yeah, we also heard from Kellyanne Conway, who we know just announced that she is stepping down for her position as counselor to the president. She was really key in that 2016 election. What did she have to say?
Well, interestingly enough, you don't hear this that much, but she did portray the president as a bit of a feminist. And we heard from a lot of female speakers, actually, on night 3 of the Republican convention. That's obviously not a coincidence. This is a political event. It's about attracting as many voters as you can. And the Republican Party and the Trump campaign know that there are some voters that might be slipping away among women more than anywhere. And so it's about attracting women back to the party and back to the Trump-Pence ticket as much as possible. I think that was one of the main messages from Kellyanne Conway. Probably the last time we'll see her speak in public for a while.
And finally, looking ahead tonight, the big show. The president is speaking right here at the White House. What are we expecting him to say?
I think you're right to mention the word show, because I was already going to say, you know, it's going to be a show more than anything. With this president, you never really know what you're going to get, but I think what we've also learned over the almost 4 years of his presidency is he's not going to tone it down. It's going to be spectacular, probably. We don't know exactly, you know, what else is organized apart from just the speech, but it's going to be aggressive. That much we know. It's going to be aggressive toward the former Vice President Joe Biden. It's going to be the presentation of a very stark choice for Americans between the left and the right, essentially. And I think we'll hear a lot about what has been going on in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and anywhere else there might have been protests and riots over the last few months. I think the president will be talking about those at length. It's been a theme during this Republican convention that Republicans are the ones who can bring law and order, and that Democrats are the ones that might bring that kind of upheaval. Of course, that's not necessarily the case, but that is the message from the president. That's a stark choice between those two parties and those two candidates.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Phil. We'll see what happens tonight.
Good to be with you.
Appreciate you coming on.